team like Kyrie and KD, or the Lake Show with King James and AD. Wish I could match him up with the bad boys from the 80s, but no black and white, I need that in HD. HenDawgz.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy HenDawgz, and we back to it. You know how we do it. NBA legends explain why Wilt Chamberlain was better than everyone. Do y'all agree with that? Do y'all believe he was better than? I think they probably talking about centers. So do y'all think he was better than Hakeem Olajuwon, Kareem, Bill Russell, Shaq? Like, is Wilt above all of them? I know he scored 100 points. So that kind of just makes people already assume that he was better than them, but I don't know. I don't think I'm picking Wilt before Kareem. But before we get into this video, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all like this video. If y'all like this video, go ahead and write something in the comments. Let me know, where do y'all rank Wilt Chamberlain as far as the best big of all time? Is he above all those people I just named? Let me know. But let's get into it. I don't even really want to do too much talking. I want to see if this video changes my mind on who I think is the GOAT as far as the bigs. So let's get into it. We got NBA legends explain why Wilt Chamberlain is better than everyone. Let's get it.
I've been watching. We'll give you a couple talks soon, man. All right,
He's the OG to Jordan. That boy old. Shout out to Wilt though.
Hey guys, this is Dominique Wilkins.
Shout out to Wilt still.
Hey, this is Pakistan.
What's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Let's get into it, man.
Hey,
Let's
folks,
check it out.
How's it going? My name is Sean David, and I'm
Sean?
back to the Basketball Time Machine. I hope you're ready for your weekly dose of old school NBA basketball. In today's episode, I want to take a look at what NBA legends have to say about how good Wilt Chamberlain was. And as you probably know, I usually only cover 80s and 90s NBA basketball, but since the show's called the Basketball Time Machine, I want to rewind it back a little bit more. But before we dive into that, I want to ask you guys for a small favor. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you enjoy the content. Alright, enough said. Let's get right into it.
Let's get into it.
So where do we start? Now, I would say let's start with Dominique Wilkins, aka the Human Highlight Film, who I had on my show not too long ago. And while we talked, we also talked a little bit about Wilt Chamberlain, and I could hear that this guy has a lot of appreciation for Wilt Chamberlain. But I found another clip that you probably haven't seen before, where he's also talking about how great Wilt was. Let's have a look.
Who was the best basketball player that you've seen that you really admired their game?
When I watched Wilt Chamberlain, listen, he got still over 60-some NBA records that would never be broken. The guy averaged 50 and 30 rebounds a game.
That's crazy.
I couldn't believe it when I read it.
I saw a video, an old tape of him, where a guy goes to shoot it over and he lobs it high. Chamberlain jumps and his fingertips is at the top of the backboard when he catches the shot. I've never seen anything like that.
And I hate when people be trying to say like he was just playing against plumbers and doctors and stuff, which it could be true. It could be true, but let's not take nothing away from his athletic abilities. Like, he could have just been a plumber himself, but no, he was one of them ones. So let's take to consideration that he was better than those plumbers. Like, he could have easily just been like, you know what, like, I'm a plumber too that's going to be playing this basketball. But no, he's like, I'm a real hooper. And I'm going to stand out against all these other people. So we got to give him some appreciation within that.
That's unhuman, you know, for someone to do.
Touching the backboard, your fingertips.
So what he did and his dominance.
It's crazy, no matter who you is.
The physicality that he played with, where people were basically trying to take him out, and they couldn't. He was too strong. I mean, he was benching 650 pounds before games.
650
The guy was incredible. So you start with Russell, you start with like Wilt Chamberlain, and Kareem, those guys was before their time.
I mean, I got love for Kareem, but I'm saying he's the greatest Lakers center ever.
Yes, he is. I'm the most dominant.
I mean, and then you got Wilt Chamberlain after that.
Chuck, you ain't gonna hurt my feelings, Chuck. I'm the most dominant.
Chuck, you gonna be a true 76er tonight. You're gonna be number 76 on the list. Hey,
you're a true 76er.
Shaq, you
have to
make
rank
the
those
list.
Lakers centers. So if you had to rank the Lakers centers, it'd be
Before Shaq rank them, you right there that's watching. You rank them for me. The top three. I want y'all just to rank those three. Kareem, Wilt, and Shaq. Where does those go? Let's do the start, bench, cut thing. You got to start one, got to bench one, and you got to cut one. Let me know in the comments.
Don't give me dominant. No, just give me go.
Kareem, me, then Wilt.
Okay. Oh, you're not betting Wilt. Stop it.
I got four.
No, stop it. Stop it. Hey, stop it. Hey, stop it. You already getting petty.
Yeah, Wilt ain't got that.
Petty on the first night. You're not better than Wilt Chamberlain. You don't remember my ceremonies? You're not better than Wilt Chamberlain. Yes, I am. No, you're not.
Your experiences of last year with
They
these
funny.
prolific
Oh,
scoring
Cole.
games.
Cole.
How do you now view what Wilt Chamberlain was able to do? A 100-point game and that entire 62 season that he had when he averaged, it seems incredible now to think he averaged 50 points.
Yeah, 25 rebounds. I mean, that's amazing. It's amazing.
Times were different. It was a different
game.
Yeah.
A different game still. 50 points, 25 rebounds. It's 50 points and 25 rebounds. It's a credit to what a physical specimen he was and how talented he was.
Before Kareem got to say what he got to say, I think another thing that's super impressive about Wilt is not only did he average 50 and 25, but in order to get those stats, you have to play a lot. So the endurance, the durability that Wilt had is crazy. To be that big and to be out there on the court, I'm sure he was playing 40 plus minutes a game. So to be out there not really coming out the game and producing at a high level, game in, game out, you gotta respect it, man. That's crazy. He's in great shape.
That's a fair point. Well, it was Wilt's record, obviously,
Kareem gotta
until
say.
he surpassed his total, and some of his statistical exploits are still sort of mind-blowing. They mess up all our research graphics. You played against him. For those of us who never saw him live, what should people know about Wilt as a player?
Well, as formidable as Shaq was physically, just
Formidable.
stalwart, 300
What does formidable mean? He said formidable. What does that mean?
pounds of steel and agility and athleticism. Wilt was all of that. And I saw him play. I was in grade school and high school. I saw him average 55 points a game. I saw him play a number of
55
times that
points?
year.
That was
The
50.
year he averaged 30 rebounds, I believe it was, a game. I was seeing him play. He got to 100 points against my team, the Knicks. That was in Hershey, Pennsylvania, but I read about it immediately the next day. Wilt was incredible.
When Wilt was playing for Philadelphia, we used to have a Thanksgiving night game with Philadelphia every year, noontime of the game. Wilt came by the hotel, got me, and took me home with him, and I had dinner with him and his mother, his father, and his sisters and brothers.
Oh, that was cool.
And after dinner, his mother said to me, "I understand you take a nap after every afternoon." I said, "Yes." She said, "Well, you can go in Wilt's bed and take a nap." And so I took a nap that afternoon, and then we went to the game together. This was an annual thing. See, I never considered him a rival. I always considered him as a competitor, in that we competed.
Interesting.
From the same position, but in completely different ways.
So the one thing I heard when people try to compare Bill Russell and Wilt, and a lot of people always give Wilt the nod. They say Bill Russell had the team. His team was so much better. They played as a team more. So that's why they had to get, 11 championships, something like that, something crazy. But they said, the argument was, if Wilt Chamberlain went to Boston and had to play that Bill Russell role, he would have had 11 rings and he would have did exactly what Bill Russell did, probably even more. But if the ties were turned and Bill Russell went and tried to do what Wilt Chamberlain did on that Philly team and on that Lakers team, he wouldn't have been able to do it. He wouldn't have averaged 50 and 25 and what Kareem said, 55 and 30 or something. Like, so that's kind of the way that you can try to compare them and just kind of be like, okay, so Wilt was better because Wilt could have did what Bill Russell did, but Bill Russell couldn't have did what Wilt did. So I'm like, all right, I guess that's a valid point, but let me know what y'all think about that.
My impressions of Wilt is that everything you had done, he had done better. And he was that kind of a guy. I remember him from Philly, obviously. He's a Philadelphia guy. I went to school with his brother, so I kind of
Earl Monroe.
Him and see.
Fun fact about Earl Monroe. If you haven't watched Winning Time, I had the opportunity to play Earl Monroe. I'm going to put a picture of me dressed up as Earl Monroe in this video. But yeah, it was a super amazing opportunity. Like, I loved it. And I think the crazy thing about it is I took a picture with my guy Lorenzo. Like, that's my guy. He did a lot of different characters like I did in Winning Time, and he dressed up as Wilt Chamberlain. And we took a picture together. So what's the odds of that? Like, the one video that I see Earl Monroe in is about Wilt Chamberlain, and the picture that I took on set was with my guy who was dressed as Wilt Chamberlain. Like, that's super crazy. Like, yeah, I gotta put those pictures in here. Yeah, I took a picture with Mike Epps as Earl Monroe. It was super dope, but I gotta let y'all know the players that I play, especially when they pop up on the screen.
Him play. I sat on the sidelines while they played in the playgrounds a lot of, at times when he came back home, hoping to get picked to play, in those games with him and whatnot. But he was a guy that I had idolized, so to speak. I wore his socks throughout my high school career because they were long and I had real skinny legs, so I was able to make my legs look a little bit bigger. But he was a guy that for me and most of the guys that I know, he's the greatest player that ever played the game.
Saw Wilt play when I was in high school because the Philadelphia All-Stars came down to play against the Washington All-Stars. Elgin leading that for Washington and Wilt leading that for Philadelphia. Wilt he's one of those guys could have played in any era. I think he is the most dominant basketball player of all time.
Wilt Chamberlain of the San Francisco Warriors, the league's leading scorer for the last 5 years, the league's deadliest man under the board.
Rebound Ruckenbill, back to Ruckman, in the He is one person that I would say saved the NBA. When you hear
Oscar Robertson,
people came to see him play. He was such a big giant and an athletic person, blocking shots and rebounding, and just scored 100 points again. Hershey, PA.
One of the players that played with the Knicks at that time, after the game was over, he called his wife and said, "Hey, Wilt and I scored 102 points tonight." And his wife was very thrilled, that she thought her husband had a great night. She said, "Well, how many did you get?" He said, "Well, Wilt got 100 and I got 2.
Wilt Chamberlain of the Philadelphia 76ers, an all-star choice and the most valuable player of the league. The tallest, strongest, highest scoring man of the NBA. As the all-time high scorer of the league, Wilt sets records every time he plays.
Some amazing things that I got a chance to watch him do, besides lead a team to a championship. I remember the Sports Illustrated had a headline. Wilt, the reason he's passing the ball now is he can't score anymore. He's getting too old. And I'm not sure if it was the next 3 or 4 games, he averaged over 60 points, just to let everybody know that he hadn't forgotten how to score. Then he went back to getting assists and led the league that year in assists.
So how good was Wilt Chamberlain in my opinion? Well, I gotta be honest, this is probably one of the most difficult questions that I ever had to answer on my show, simply because of the fact that I never watched him play when I was a kid. So what I'm talking about right now is what I have seen in the past 20 years from all video footage. But there's one thing I can say. Being a former basketball player myself and being a basketball coach, I can tell you averaging those numbers even against bad competition would be super impressive and super hard to accomplish. And if you take a closer look at his athleticism and how he moved and how high he could jump and his skill set and everything, I mean, come on, we gotta be honest, this guy was just a machine. And I can understand that, especially the younger folks have a problem to accept that this was an exceptional talent because he was so far ahead of his time. But in my opinion, I think in any era, he would be one of the most dominant players of all time. So, Wilt, you were incredible. All right, you guys, that was it for the Basketball Time Machine this week. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, click the...
Shout out to the Basketball Time Machine, and I agree 100%. Wilt Chamberlain will be a monster in today's game. Like, if you get 4 shooters around Wilt and let Wilt just get rebounds and run the floor and dunk and, you know, just play that big in the middle, he'll be great, man. But I appreciate y'all for watching this video. Before we end this video, though, I want to start doing something on this channel a little bit more. I want to start giving each other more words of encouragement. Like a lot of like positive, just positive words, man. Like sometimes I'm going through stuff, man. Like I'm not about to sit here and act like everything is, like life is just perfect. Everything is just going great. But my outlet is to get on here and just watch basketball and, you know, create these videos for people to talk about and enjoy and, you know, just do different things like that. So in the comments, I want y'all to just start like, just you know, giving me positive stuff, man. Like positive quotes and, you know, just being more positive, more, I don't even, what's another word for positive? Just like, just good vibes, man. Great vibes. Like I said, I be needing it, y'all. Like I need it. Like sometimes, you know, this shit get lonely, this shit get, you know, life is hard for everybody, man. I'm not about to sit here and just act like my life is just so terrible and everybody else's life is great, or act like everybody not going through stuff. Like we all going through stuff, so that's why I want this channel to be something to where if you're having a bad day, you're going through something, you can be like, I'm about to go to the HenDawgz channel and it's gonna put a light on my day. Like that's my goal for this. So I'm gonna start talking like this a little bit more in my videos, probably before, because I'm sure a lot of people not even gonna even hear this because it's at the end of a video. And I know how people's YouTube attention spans is. So I'm gonna start giving out these messages earlier in my videos. And yeah, some stuff is bigger than just watching. Like we gonna watch our basketball. We gonna watch Wilt Chamberlain. We gonna watch Michael Jordan. We gonna, you know, do reaction videos to Kobe and all these different people, LeBron. But within those videos, I want it to be a positive comment section. We can disagree. You be like, man, bro, you tripping on that. I don't know what you're talking about. We can do all that. But I still want it to be a place where it's like, you know what, like going in those comments, man, that made me feel better about my day. That's my goal for the channel, man. But I appreciate y'all like always. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't. Make sure y'all like this video if y'all liked it. And go ahead and write something in the comments. Write something what I just was talking about. Write something positive, a positive quote. Just have a good day. Just anything, man. Anything that you feel like will brighten somebody's day. But I appreciate y'all like always.